Okay, the first one we're going to do is 1 Samuel 2, 9 through 11. So that's 1 Samuel, my puppy, right? 2, 9 through 11. He will keep the feet of the saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. Now, who are the saints? We learned that in Revelations. The saints are the elect ones, and the elect ones are many of us. He will keep the feet of the saints. If you look up the word saints in the Hebrew and the Greek, it means elect. And the wicked shall silent in the darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. And what do we get with horn? It means power. And exalt the power of his anointed. That's anybody who's been anointed, anybody who believes, anybody who goes forth in righteousness. And remember what we were saying about the promises. There's 2 types of promises. One type of promises, God promises just to do this. Jesus promises just to do this. You don't need to do anything for it. Then there's the second ones, and that's usually always to do about yourself. Jesus promises to do X, Y, Z if you obey his law. If you remember, what does obey mean? To honor and act accordingly. So if you honor his law, what are the law? The commandments. If you honor the law and you act accordingly in divine righteousness, then you will receive XYZ, the other promise. So these are the 2 types of promises. Okay, down there? Yeah. These are the 2 types of promises. And one of his promises is he will give you strength. Shall no man. He will keep the feet of his saints, that's us, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. He'll keep them away from you. This is a promise. He'll keep them away. He'll keep the feet. He'll keep your feet on solid ground. He'll keep your feet in divine righteousness. He'll hold on to you. And the adversaries of the Lord, the adversaries, shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall be thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. Well, the saints, which are the elect, says in many places the saints have been anointed. So those who are anointed, those who have the seal of the divine on their forehead, those who are the children and written in the book of the life, he will give them strength. You're the anointed ones. He shows you this every day. And here's the kicker. This is something I don't think many of you would actually comprehend this, but go back to, this is where I wanted 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. Okay. 2 Corinthians 12. 2 Corinthians 12. Go through your little Bible, find it. You got it? 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may reset upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecution, in distress for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I am become a fool in glory. Ye have compelled me, for I ought to have been condemned of you, for in nothing am I behind the very chiefest apostle, though I be nothing. And what that's saying, so let's go back. 9. My grace is sufficient for thee, but let's go. Therefore, I take pleasure in my infirmities. For what happens? What happens when you got something going wrong in your life? Really terrible infirmities, or you're being, the system is attacking you or something like that. What happens? Then you focus on Jesus for assistance, for strength. So what are you doing? Where's your focus going? You see, this is what we do so wrong in our life. Oh, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. What a patient and amazing and outright divine, loving, grace and merciful it's Jesus and God do we, Yeshua and God do we have. They're patient. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to figure it out. They're waiting for you to look and say, okay, look at all this crap. How long did it take for me going through this stuff with my mom and everything to finally give it up and say, wrapped it all up, go, here you go. Here you go, Yeshua. I'm done. I'm done trying to handle it. You take care of it. And boom, almost instantly it was taken care of. I think back, my God, I wasted how many months? Oh, wow, I wasted so much of my life because I didn't turn it over. And that's with all of us. Think for a moment. Just think, how much of your life have you wasted on mourning exes? Oh, I missed them. Oh, mourning something you don't have. Thinking about things that you really shouldn't. Instead of going, looking at that those things might be coming to your life to wake you up to the divine. So instead of going, you hear so many people, why is God doing this? Why is God doing this to me? Why is God doing this to me? Why is God doing this? Oh, God is done. Why is God letting this happen? Oh my gosh, right? God isn't letting anything happen. We are. God gave us free will. Whatever happens on this place, you got yourselves, all of us, society to thank, to give gratitude to. But then turn around and look at it and say, wow, how many times, and serious, how many people do you think came to Jesus on their knees because their world fell apart? When everything is going right, nobody thinks about. I should say nobody, a lot of people do. I don't mean that. Um, but a lot of people, they don't even look at Jesus. They don't, everything's going. And it's when the shit hits the fan, in plain English, that they drop to their knees and pray. And that's it. And then, but here's the thing. When you see it, so many say it's a miracle. Oh, praise Jesus, praise God, praise this. You're so grateful because it turned around. So how can you see the strength? He shows you the strength every day in your infirmities, in your struggles. You always get through it, right? You're still here. Think back to a situation and you remember saying this. Think back and go, I can't believe I got through that. I thought I never would. And now it's like, psh, for me, I know this is silly, but I remember, oh Lord, finals weeks, the end of the semesters in college. And I never opened books and I'm going, oh, how am I going to get through this? Oh dear gosh, and I was up all night trying to cram. How many were up on? And think about that now. Could you do that now? Really, I was like, how did I do that? Think of how you got through things that you thought you'd never get through. How did you do it? Because you had strength. Whether you asked for it or not, if you're basically believing and have a relationship with Yeshua, he's going to give it to you anyway. There's no not it having. It's right there. It's always right there. So that's how you always get strength. It's part of who you are. It's a promise. God will give you strength. And there's so many times, and I know all of you have been through this. Oh, I can't do it anymore. You don't have 1 ounce of energy left. And the next thing you know, you're looking at this big project ahead of you and you go, oh, I'll never get it done. There's no way. I'm exhausted. It's got to be done by tomorrow. Or it's got to be done by the next day. Or it's got to be done by this. Or it's got to be done by that. And somehow you get it done. So, but how much energy did you waste complaining about it? Oh, I'll never get it done. I'll never get it done. I'll never get it done. Oh, I can't do this. God help me. I can't do this. God. Instead of going, wow, what a great project. The divine gave me this so I could find the strength in the Christ light. So let's bring it on. See the difference? Which one is the victim? The one complaining all the time. Right? So it's a lot different than what we think. He'll always give you strength. However, here's the other side of that. You must believe in him and have faith in him. You must be, it's one thing to know the commandments, and that's what we all would like to strive for. But the divine knows plain out, in Satan's world, that is a very difficult task. And it even says in the Bible, not one man is righteous. No one. So, if that was the only way we'd make it, none of us would. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And part of that is by the system. By the very system that we live in under the satanic rule. When you call yourself a person, you're lying. You're not a person. You're not part of a corporation. You're part of the divine. The word person here in America and overseas, that they took us all and they incorporated us. We're dead entities. We're not dead. So when you say these things, you're actually committing a lie. You don't think you are, but you are. So thou shalt not lie. Oops, I'm not doing well on that one, am I? And then how many of you have ever looked in the mirror and said, oh my gosh, I'm disgusting. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm too thin. I'm too wrinkled. I'm too bald. I'm too whatever. It's a lie. You're perfect in the eyes of the divine. It's only a body. And look at it this way. If you're up there just the light, that's all you get to do. Be this beautiful sounding light. And you have an opportunity to come here to have experiences. Are you really thinking what the outside's going to look like? Do you really care? But this world has shifted everything around to be everything about this plane. Everything is about this plane. And another thing is, the more you go into your Christ light, the more the outside body changes. The time of stress that I went through with my mom and stuff, my hair was falling out big time. That's what all these little things are. It's all growing back now. These are my little, right? I've lost so much hair, and I had one thick head of hair. And now that that's over and I'm singing and dancing again and the Christ light's coming, the hair is coming back thicker. I'm replenishing myself. That's with every one of us. But we sit there and go, woe is me. Is it making sense? What's going on in your life? If you're under any anxiety, why? Trust me, I get it. I'm not judging it, but I'm asking why? Why? Because we don't really have enough faith. We think we have to handle it ourselves. Do we really? If you have any kind of anxiety, stress in your life, then you're really not having enough faith that the divine's going to take care of it. And then I hear this a lot. Well, I had lots of faith in Jesus and God, and all this shit happened in my life. Well, maybe that shit was to get you closer instead of further. It's just how you act to it. What's the old expression? The glass is half empty. It's half empty. Oh, wait, it's half full with awesome organic apple juice. Mm, it's how you look at things. Are you complaining that you're half empty? Are you grateful you have half a glass? It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Therefore, I take pleasures in reproaches and infirmities, necessaries and persecution and distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. And what does that mean? For when I'm weak, I'm now, where's my focus going? My focus is going on calling in Jesus. How about focusing on that every day? And then we wouldn't have to have all these struggles. None of them. Then let's go to 12. Truly, the signs of an apostle were wrought among you in all patience, in signs and wonders and mighty deeds. All patience. All patience. I think I'm going to say this with 80% belief right now that that's one of the things, the biggest thing man struggles with, mankind, patience. We don't have patience. We want everything now. And society, what do they, these things, ah, this was the greatest downfall for children and kids, and teenagers and everything, to grow into adults with no patience. Everything is instantaneous. I need to know now. 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 And I look back and I think, how in God's name did our moms and dads do this? I remember we were great campers. We used to camp the whole United States. We went camping everywhere, everywhere. And there was no internet back then. There was no way for my mom and dad to know where campsites were. What did they have to do? They had to write, because it came on TV. Oh, I love Virginia. I love New York. The little I and the heart sign and then the state. And right here, my mom had to write to all these states for a travel book. What's in your state to see? And then they sent these travel books. Could you imagine doing that now? Think back. Think back before faxes. Some of you youngers don't know this. Think back before fax machines, which are now obsolete. Before email and business. We literally had to take something, fold it up, and stick it in an envelope, and then wait 3 to 5 days. But then again, the post office, now that's another thing. The post office was so much busier then, and they were a heck of a lot more accurate. Things would get there in a day or two across the country, right? But that's how we did business. We waited, or on the phone. I'm sending you this contract. You had to wait 10 days. Think about it. That bred patience. Things like this breathe impatience. How many times have you not answered the phone call? Maybe you left your phone in the house and you were outside gardening and you came in and there's 5 messages from the same individual. Why aren't you answering me? Where are you? Answer the phone. Where are you? I've been calling you. Are you kidding me? Instantaneous. We must have patience to wait for the Lord. And that's the greatest gift, because the divine has patience for us. Jesus will wait on us and wait on us and wait on us and wait on us. Waited 2 years with me and my mom, right? Until I finally said, I had enough. And I turned it over. And he's up there going, it's about time that Momo got this. What does she wait so long for? Because, next to being, when you don't have patience, what's the next thing? What's the next thing that comes up after not being impatient? You're going to control the situation, right? You take control because you're impatient. If you had patience, you wouldn't take control. You'd wait on it. Nope. If you had faith, full 100% belief in faith, belief that you're taking care of, belief that the divine's doing everything that you need, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be opened. If you truly had faith that that was true and you would do it in God's time, patience would not be an issue. And then if you had patience, you wouldn't take control over it. On top of that, if you knew God was going to do it, why would you take control over it? You'd kind of just push back, put your feet up and go, okay, handle it. And then be in the light that you are, and you would hear things like, okay, go do this, that, and the other thing. Okay, I can do that. Wow, what a difference that made. And the divine will put people in your life. And, I asked somebody for something. Somebody came and said this. I got 5 things. I said, which one? I was told, bam, everything worked out right. If you have patience, you can sit in silence and listen. And when you give up control, you can let God control. Big difference. Big, big difference. Okay, so now I want to let me turn the chat back on. Okay, does that all make sense to everybody? Okay, so like Romans 8:25, if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. With patience wait for it. Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Now the God of patience and consolation grant you to be like-minded one towards another, according to Christ Jesus. Patience is everywhere. Truly the sign of an apostle were wrought among you in all patience. That's what we just read, right? 2 Corinthians 12. Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians is what I was trying to get through. Remembering without ceasing your work or faith and labor of love and patience. This Thessalonians 1-4. My goodness, my mouth doesn't seem to be working right today. So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of God, your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that you endure. Patience, patience, patience. 1 Timothy 6:11. This is one of the better ones. I love this one. They're all good. I shouldn't say better. They're all good, but this is one of my favorites. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. Remember, meekness doesn't mean a doormat. Meekness means to follow the divine. 2 Timothy 3:10, and thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering. Why the long suffering? Because that's how you get to know God, charity, and patience. James 1:3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. You need patience to have faith. The trying of your faith. Why? Why does the divine keep trying your faith? Keep it going and going so you can learn patience. Patience is, and I have to tell you, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, one of the stupidest things I ever did. I used to say patience is a virtue, and I ain't get that virtue. Nope, nope, nope. What a silly thing to say. I am divine patience. James 1:4. But let patience have her perfect work. What am I trying to tell you? If you're a believer in Jesus and you're connected with Jesus and you believe in it and you're honorable, let patience have her perfect work. Just be patient. Give Jesus time to work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. It'll all come. Goes on. I haven't even got out of James. There's like hundreds and hundreds. You can look in the Bible, go to the back, look up patience. It'll tell you all the chapters that have it. So patience is such a big one. It's right up there. And so God gives you strength, but you have to have patience. You have to stop trying to control things and wake up. Wake up to God, which brings me to Judges 5. This is one of the passages that I'm going to read that is a little different from this, but I want to read this because there's so many people questioning this about women in the Bible. I've got a couple of messages about that. Because Elo in the Greek is man, Adam. Eloha is woman. Elohim is the plural of both. God is an Elohim. It's not man. It's not a female. It's a combination of both. So when I mentioned that, a lot of people got upset. God's father, this, that. Okay, that's the doctrine you've been taught. And I'm not taking away from it. I don't want to. It's all about getting your thought processes going and looking at things. Remember, difficult means a different culture. We're in a different culture now. Look at what it means. Don't look at the outside. Take the coat off and look what's inside. Don't look at the words at their face value. Go inside and see what it means. So if we go to Judges 5:11. No, we're going to go to 12. Awake, awake, utter a song, arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Then he made him that remaineth have dominion over the nobles among the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. But the most important part of that is awake, 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 Deborah. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake, utter a song, arise, Barak. Awake, awake. It's doubled. It's said 4 times, which is putting such emphasis on it. Deborah was a judge and a prophetess in Israel. She was a she in a time where she's had no say. And Barak, interesting name. I'm not going into that, but you all know what I'm thinking, right? Barak, the definition of Barak, well, not the definition. He was a military leader, and he fought alongside Deborah. What did he do? He fought alongside Deborah. And that was the battle between Israelites and the Canaanites. And this was the celebration. This was the absolute celebration. Awake, awake, Deborah, awake, awake, utter a song, arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Then he made him that remaineth have dominion over the nobles among the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. That's the importance of her. She stood up against the Canaanites. She was a judge in Israel. And she fought. She went out and led the battle. Barak, who was the military leader, fought alongside her. She started the battle. So So that gets you, they're trying to say, awake, awake. This was a song. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake. Trying to tell people to wake up. You see something, go forward. Do it in the name of the divine. Ask first. Just don't go running around trying to plunger. No, 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 no. Ask first. What is it? Get in that place. That's why we do the meditation, so many of them, so you can feel the Christ light and get yourself in that place. And then ask, is this the right thing to do? What is it I should be doing it? What is, and trust. Have patience. Ask the divine to show you. Knock, the door will be opened. Ask and you shall receive. Tell me where to go. And if this is what you want me to do, open the doors for me to make it happen. But then don't question it, because this is where the patients come in. Oh, it's not happening in your time schedule, right? So you're going to take control. Hey, we all do it. Have the patience. And look for truth, the truth of divine. God will give you strength, strength and truth, strength in everything. God will give you wisdom, wise dominion. That's one of his promises too. Is this all making sense? Now I'm going to ask you all a question. How many, this is to everybody who was there on Wednesday when I did Revelations. Now keep in mind, I lost everything that day. I had to do that all from, that's why the first 30 minutes was a little bit, but when I was, honestly, I was freaking. I planned everything. I wrote everything down and the computers crashed. So, but when I settled into it and had faith, my first thing was to cancel it. And I heard no. And when I settled into it and had faith, after about 20 minutes, then the word of the divine just kept flowing. But I couldn't get to that place because I was too frazzled. Because why? I was controlling the situation. I had done everything I was supposed to do. Everything. And it was gone. Oh. My friend Sam said to me, that's like getting ready to walk up to a podium to speak in front of thousands of people, and oops, somebody took all your notes. That's exactly what happened. So what did I do? A, I got impatient. B, I've got myself frazzled. Could not connect to my Christ consciousness in the first 10 minutes because I was frazzled. I was trying to take control and bring everything back up. I was trying, as I'm talking, I'm trying to restore. And of course, the restore didn't work. Usually when the computer upgrades, you can hit restore and it brings back all your files. Well, that didn't work. So I couldn't bring back the files and I was doing all that. And it wasn't until I surrendered and had patience with it. And I said, all right, yeah, sure. You wanted me to do this? Well, then you do it. What a lesson, right? But did I have faith in the beginning? No, I freaked out a little bit. But guess what? That may have, the old me would have definitely canceled. Or maybe got so angry, nothing would have happened. There was no anger in there. There was just frustration. Like, oh, here we go. Did they teach me patience? Did I accept the patience and the lack of control graciously? Maybe not. But I didn't wig out. There was no screaming, no yelling, no, nothing like that. 10 years ago, that may have been a big thing. Now it was like, and it went on. Just went on. So think of situations and wonder, in your past, how would you react? How would you react? And like I say all the time, you get news from a doctor, or you get news from somebody that they put power on. The society puts, they know everything about the health, right? Please. How much have we been lied to, right? And you call up and you say, oh, I got this. And then you all you're doing is focusing on the crap. So focusing on the crap. For me, I was very happy. I didn't even mention it that day. I just, okay, focus on getting this done. I couldn't find the maps I had. I couldn't find anything I had. I had proof of everything and I couldn't find it. But some of you came to the call and got it done. I appreciate that. So you see, it worked fine. But I'm going to ask you, each and every one of you now. Let me see. So I don't have all the yeses. I only want the no's. So I want to ask this question of you. And be truthful. Or actually, you don't even have to answer it. I don't really. It'll be your own thing. You can keep it within yourself. Just keep it to yourself. How many of you, when I said, I asked, I didn't tell, I asked. I said, I have a question. Why did Trump hold the Bible upside down? That was my question. I asked you. Somebody tell me why. And a few of you said different things. Some of you got very defensive and angry. Some of you got nasty. Some of you said, well, no, it was right side up. But how many of you researched it? There was a few. A few of you researched it. And if you did a good research job, you would have found out that he didn't hold it upside down. How many of you believe that he did hold it upside down when I said it? I just asked a question. I don't need to know. But I'm telling you, a lot of people believed it. All I did was ask a question. And people went, wow, Trump held the Bible upside down? Mm-mm. I didn't see anything that was upside down. That's what you should be doing. The whole thing was about, and the one that I had, which I was going to show you, but I couldn't even find it. It had it upside down, but it got wiped out. But I have no doubt that was Photoshop because the fingers looked funky. That's why I was going to show the fingers. I wanted you to see that was AI, but it all got lost. It doesn't matter. But the point is, so many people just took that as it was just a question. It wasn't even a fact. I must have reiterated 5 times. It's just a question. This is just a question I have. Somebody answer this question. It's just my question. That's all I said. And so many of you believed I said it, that Trump held the Bible upside down, because I got lots of emails. I got lots of nasty things about it. And you just believed it. So my thought is, which I was told to do this, why? Don't believe anybody. Go to your Christ light and ask. And people have the right to ask questions and not be obliterated for them. All this was something the divine wanted me to do so you all could reflect in what your actions did. Did you obey? Did you honor and act accordingly? Many of you did not. Doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with me. But for those of you who really believe that the Bible was held upside down, I don't want to know. I really don't. Look at it that, what else am I believing without doing my due diligence, without sitting in my Christ light? And none of you had to research it. Do you know that? For all those that just said you had to research it, you didn't have to research it. All you had to do, get in your Christ light and ask Jesus. That's it. And there was a handful of you that may have done that because I asked how many are doing it. And Yeshua just said, you can count them on one hand. The rest researched. So where's your research? Your research is 3D. Again, this is not to judge anybody because I just finished telling you I was the first one to take control over things, right? I was a research scientist. Hello, it's my title. Because I researched everything. I was a badass problem solver. But honest yourself. Don't reply to me. Be honest with yourself. What was your first reaction? Did you get angry? Some of you got putting up your dukes, ready to battle. And I saw that. I could name some names. They got very defensive. And others, and that makes me think, well, why are you defensive about somebody you really don't even know? I remember because I was laughing to myself because I knew what was happening. And I just went, oh, thank God I didn't get this challenge because I would have failed too. I would have researched it. I wouldn't have asked. I would have researched it. I would have gone right to the computer and said, let me see the pictures. When you read the Bible, you will find out when you thoroughly read it, the time schedule is off. Our divine God is the one true living, it is so merciful, keeps stretching the timeline. Doesn't want to lose souls. Doesn't want. Remember, Satan is the most revengeful SOB on the planet, on this earth plane. All right? Doesn't care if he loses. Cares is how he can stick it to the divine, how many souls he can steal from them. And if you're not standing, this was the purpose of what the divine had me do. If you're not standing in the Christ light and asking, when the fake one comes, you'll believe it. And then that will be the unpardonable sin. Turning away. So this is just for you to, got to get my game on. Got to get my Christ light on. Got to stay in my Christ light. I can never speak about others, but I can tell you firsthand, for 2.5 years, I suffered in the situation because I had to control it. I kept yelling at God, what are you doing? Get down here and help me. You want me to do all this, but I got to deal with all this? What did I do? Glass is half empty, half empty, half empty, half empty. I kept saying, get your butt here. Look at the mess I've got nothing here. I need assistance. 911, 911. Instead of, and it wasn't until I did this is what I did. Took me long enough. I'm Italian and Irish. We can be a little thick-headed. Calabrese, thick skull. Very thick sometimes. It wasn't until I said, oh, wow. Look how blessed I am. I've got a glass half full. You know what, Yeshua? Fill up the rest. You take care of it. And the minute I finally did that, everything changed. And I mean everything. Everything. And I'm sure every one of you, if you look back at your lives, have one of those situations. And isn't it funny that so many of us, because that's what happened to me, I had to be taken to the breaking point before I could say, wow, look how much good I do have. Yeshua, fill it up. Take care of it. That's how merciful divine creator is. As my father used to say, I'll give you enough rope to make a noose, but I won't let you swing. And I'm always making nooses, but Jesus doesn't let me swing either. Whew, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many nooses I made. And Jesus doesn't let us swing, but he keeps giving us rope and rope and rope and rope. And the noose is getting tighter and tighter and tighter, but we haven't jumped. The minute we go to jump, he stops us. Why? Why are we so dense? And there isn't an individual in the world that this is not true for. Even the best preachers in the world, they forget sometimes. So look at it yourself. How did you truly react to that situation about Trump holding the Bible upside down? Did you first run and research? Did you first go to Jesus? Or did you put your boxing gloves on? Did you get defensive? Did you get nasty? Whatever it is. Or 1 Timothy 6:11. Did you follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness? Or did you just put your boxing gloves because you knew better? And here's another thing. And I'm not saying this, but I'm saying this. How do we even know nothing was photoshopped? We really truly don't know. Oh, you saw it? Oh, well, I saw it. Go look it on YouTube. Really? As if there's nothing on YouTube that's not truth? Well, it was on TV. I saw it. Really? I can honestly tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt. You could be standing in front of someone physically and not seeing truth. Just saying. Doesn't matter what's on YouTube. Doesn't matter what's on the media. Doesn't matter what your own peepers are seeing. How many of you remember the movie Left Behind we played? We had a movie night. We watched Left Behind. Remember? Remember that movie? And remember, I forgot the guy's name who was playing the Antichrist. Can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. He shot the two guys in the room. And they all came out saying, oh, guy A shot guy B. And then he killed himself. Such a shame, such a shame. Oh, because Satan, because we are under the realm right now, this is the third dimensional plane, this is the earth plane of Satan rules it, because we are under this rule, we're under this spell, they can convince us we're looking at something we're not really seeing. That was part of Revelations. You think you're going to see what you're going to see, and it's not real. And the only one in that show, in Left Behind movie, the only one who saw it was the one who prayed to see the truth right before he went in. Remember? And he sat there, and that was Kirk Cameron. And he sat there going, "What did you see?" Oh, it was so sad, so sad, so sad. Guy A shot guy B. Now, did he act? Did Kirk Cameron act as a hero? Did he have to go, ooh, I know the truth, and blast, or did he put duct tape on his mouth? He shut his mouth. He let others see what they saw, and he went along his merrily way until he came with like-minded people, and he said, I can't believe it. They all saw it this way. And the preacher said, well, Satan has control over what you see unless you're in the Christ light. So the time is now. Stand in your Christ light, or you're not going to see the truth, or you're going to react. And for those of you, since Stephen and Fallon fessed up, I can pick on them. For those of you who put on your punching bags to fight back, when you're fighting back, were you in your Christ light? When you got defensive, were you, no, you were trying to prove a point. Did it freaking matter? Does any of this matter? Does any of it matter whether he had the Bible upside down, sideways, backwards? No, none. But look at the reaction and the energy spent on it. That's all this was about. And some sweet people even emailed me and said, hey, look at these pictures. It's right side up. I know. The one I was looking at, and I wish to gosh I could find it again, it was AI or Photoshop because Trump didn't have enough fingers. He was missing some fingers. You're not to tell anybody to do anything. Why were you battling, Leana, people? Why are you battling with people? What does it say? You walk into someone's house, you bring peace. They're not talking about that kind of peace. Peace is energy. You bring them Christ-light energy. Divine energy. And if they're not of the same mind, well, then you take back your divine energy, put it back in there. You turn around and you wipe the what from your feet? What are you wiping from your feet? Dust. And what fell into the dust of earth? When Michael took him out of heaven, and the first thing, he threw him into the earth, Satan, into the dust. So you see what that now means? You take back your energy. You're not going to give it to Satan, right? No, 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 no. If you walked into someone's house who is not aligned with Jesus, Yeshua, who doesn't even care about Jesus or Yeshua, then they are on the satanic side. There's no other side right now. There is none. Now, this is why people are, oh, Yahweh, this, that. I don't care what you call him. I really don't care. Yahweh, it was his real name if you really must know it, but we're not going to go into that. It doesn't matter. Call him Yeshua, Jesus. Does not matter. If you are in the Christ light, this is why I use Christ light, because I don't want to screw around with all the biblical names they have for it. X means Christ too, you know? If you are in the Christ light and you go into someone's house and you radiate all this beautiful Christ energy and you find out they're satanic, well, you're not going to leave that energy there. You are not going to leave God's energy to be used against you. You suck it all up and you put it back in, and you turn around and you wipe Satan off your feet. Because what does it say? God's got your feet. Didn't we read that one? He will keep the feet of the saints. Why is he keeping the feet of the saints? The saints are us. Saint means elect. It's us. It's the anointed ones. It's the ones with the seal, the ones that have chosen, the ones that stood up on the first fall, and they stood up for the Christ light, and they're being asked again to do it again. That's what Revelation says. And it was those. He will keep the feet of the saints. Why? What are our feet walking on? Dirt. It was never called dirt. It was called earth. It's been soiled. Soil. Why is it when you go to one of the white sandy beaches, you go, oh, so beautiful? Because the earth was crystal white. It wasn't dirty. It didn't get soiled. It wasn't dusty. So he will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. You will never prevail by the third level strength, which is satanic. So you enter into a house, you turn around, and you wipe Satan off your feet. That is a true doormat. Oh, I said this 1,000 times, D. Thousands of times. All the new ages. Oh, we got to ground to earth. Oh, please. Please. Let me ask each and every one of you. If you're an individual with an auric field, do you want people grabbing you and grounding to you? Heck no. Get the freak away from me. Why do you think the great Mother Earth wants our Grounding means death in the hole. Part of grave. That's a new age, new world order. You show me once in the Bible where it says to ground. It says wipe the ground off your feet. Heaven is up, hell is down. Cast out of heaven, Satan, onto the earth plane. So Satan rules the earth plane. Let's ground to Satan. How stupid are people? I don't get it. I don't get it. Not my job to get. My job is to make sure my butt does what it's here to do. Stay in your Christ light. The dust is Satan. Revelations tells you, Genesis tells you, that's when Genesis was the start of after he was kicked out and into the garden. He came upon earth and he was in the Garden of Eden. Everybody goes, well, why did God put the devil on the earth anyway? He was kicked out of heaven. Satan, Lucifer, was not his name, by the way. Lucifer is God's name. It means the morning star. Jesus is called the morning star. It's a slap in the face, believe it or not. And I'm not getting into that now. You can look it up yourself. Lucifer meant brightness, extremely bright. He was one of God's favorites. And he was going to have a place on the mercy seat. He was going to watch the mercy seat and guard over until he decided to catch on ego. And then he had a war. And I'm summing this up real quick. And then Michael cast him out. And he got kicked into the third level of earth. Alan, he didn't say take off his shoes for the entire earth. He said where he was standing. Because God was there. Because the divine always, Jesus always, the light always purifies it. And the divine light was there. Doesn't mean earth is going to be like that forever. We have to wait again until the light is on the earth. God was on top of the Christ light was up top of the mountain. That mountain was precious and holy. He didn't say crawl up the mountain in your shoes with your shoes off. Even Jesus wore sandals. People come into your house. I have no idea. I don't really care. People come into your house and you want them to bring Satan into your house? No, get out. Take your energy and get out. But that works two ways. Because In the Bible, it doesn't say what you're bringing in. So if Satan comes into your house and he dumps off his crap ass energy, you throw him out ASAP. Give me back my light and get out of my house. And then you got to blast all the crap out of it. Hi, I'm Leana from PowerPassionFreedom.com. If you liked what you heard, why don't you come and join us on Sundays? We do a whole free question and answer period followed by a meditation. Bring all your questions. All you have to do is go to PowerPassionFreedom.com to register for Sunday. Oh, and don't forget to like us and subscribe to us below because we're always adding new meditations and content and you don't want to miss out on it. I'll see you Sunday.